Okay, team, welcome to your APA format how-to YouTube video. APA stands for the American Psychological Association. This format is used in social science, in science. So if your professors or TAs ask for this format next year, you can refer back to this or to the Google Slides posted that hopefully you printed out and or saved to your own Google Drives. Now, when you are starting in APA, if you are doing this on Google Docs, this video will be step by step. If you have access to Microsoft Word, the steps are almost identical. The places that you will find how to manipulate your papers will be under the same headings. You can still refer to this. If you have access to Word, I strongly suggest that you use Word over Docs, only because Microsoft Word allows you to see grammatical errors such as subject-verb agreements that you don't get on Google Docs. Now, Google Docs is accessible to everyone, which is why we are using this today. As well, there are no saving issues, panic, remembering to save to the cloud or whatever it is in Windows. So if you want to stick with Google Docs just for safety and accessibility, that is also a good call. Once you are in Google Docs, the first thing that you're going to do is insert a header. This is different than if you were in Microsoft Word. If I were in Microsoft Word, I would set my formatting off the bat. But in Google Docs, I found that this is the most useful. The first thing that you're going to do is, after you've inserted your header, click on Different First Page. And then you are going to go to the font. So this is where you're going to switch to Times New Roman, size 12. Here you're going to put Running Head, and then in caps locks, the title of your paper or Parber paper. And then tab over so you are on right indentation. And then you are going to insert page number. Okay, and let's make sure that's as far over as it goes. Yep. If this were Microsoft Word, these things would save automatically. We are going to have to do this one more time on the next page. Once you are in the regular portion of your paper, you are going to put the actual title in. So you're going to go to center alignment. You're going to tab down. You want to be in the top half of your title page. Then you're going to go back to font, back to Times New Roman and size 12. Again, in Microsoft Word, you would set that all up one time and it would hold. In Google Docs, you're going to have to do it more than once. Here in regular title font, not caps locks, you're going to put the title of your paper again. Then you're going to go into Format, Line Spacing, and click on Double Spaced. Now, again, in Microsoft Word, you're going to have more visible options for this. Here you can see add space before paragraph and add space after paragraph. Neither one of those are going to be things that you're going to do, nor are you going to set custom spacing. Your profs, your TAs, and I will know if you are trying to take up space on a page or make your paper look longer by adjusting your margins or adding spacing. So the only thing that you are going to select is double space. Once you hit enter, you are going to put your name and then the name of your institution. These are the basics for APA format. Your profs or your TAs may or may not also ask for things like the date, the course code, etc. For the purposes of our paper, this is all that I'm going to ask you for. Once you are here, your title page is done. You're going to go back to insert. And you are going to add a page break so that you are at the start of a new page. Go back to insert, spending a lot of time here. Go to headers. And then you're once again going to have to fix the font. Again, this seems to be a bit of a hiccup in Google Docs as opposed to Microsoft Word. Okay, so you're going to go back to left alignment. and then in Times New Roman. In all caps, the title of your paper, and then you're going to send that page number back to far right alignment. Once you are here, again, you're going to put in regular title font. And then go back to left alignment. And once you are here, you're going to realize that you need to indent at the beginning of every paragraph. Again, you do have the option to select indent automatically at beginning of new paragraphs in Microsoft Word. Even if you're using Word, I would caution against this, just because I find that sometimes if you're trying to go back in your paper and you're writing revisions, it can throw off some of the spacing and alignment that you had set up, or some of the fluidity or the way that you added in your charts. It's best if you just sort of manipulate it on your own. Again, using Enter as opposed to hitting double space is also going to throw off any formatting that you do. Make sure that you set those spacing parameters off the bat. Once you're here, you're going to hit indent, and then you are going to begin writing your paper with an interesting, informative intro. When you are going to start a new paragraph, again, it's a single enter. You've already set up double spacing, and then you'll just tab in. That is for new paragraphs only. In regular paragraphs, you'll obviously just keep writing. You don't need to touch anything else. Once you are done with the body of your paper, the only time you're going to start a new page break is for references. You do not continue your references on the same page as your last wording. You might see this happen in journals or in articles that you're reading. That's fine for those pieces. That's not something that you're doing if you're handing in a piece to a prof or a TA. So you're going to go back to page break, and then assuming that this would be the last page of your paper, obviously the number on the top right will not be 3 because your papers will be longer than 1 page. You are going to once again go back to center alignment, and then here you'll put references, back to left alignment, and then leaving things in double space, you are still going to go to format, align and indent. Then you're going to go down to indentation options. And here in special indent, you are going to choose hanging. And this will mean that the beginning of your citation, rather than using a bullet point or an indent point, the citation will begin on the left-hand side, but once the citation runs over the first line, it'll begin at an indented space. So it'll look like it's hanging off the original citation. Once you've created that hanging indent, the way that your actual citation will be set up, and you can use any of the citation generators if it's more comfortable to you. Again, my recommendation will be to use the OWL Purdue APA citation generator, but I've always found just writing citations myself easier than going into a generator. So for APA, it's the author's last name, author's first initial, in between a comma, after the first initial, a period, comma. If there's another author or multiple authors, you're going to follow the same formatting. Author last name, comma, author first initial, period. If there's another author, a comma would go in this space, and then you continue with authors until you ran out of authors. After your last author, there's no comma. It just finishes with a period. In brackets, you are going to put the year of the publication, period, the title, period. All of these things are going to be in normal font. If you are pulling your article from a journal, you are going to italicize the name of the journal, comma, the volume number of the journal that you're using, and then the issue number in brackets, comma, and then the pages used. So if it's a singular page, it'll just be 1. period. If it's more than one page, it'll be, pages 23 to 28, period. You can see an actual example here, last name, comma, first initial, period, comma, last name, comma, etc., etc. So this is the format. And you see that once we go over this line, that hanging indent is there. Again, all of your references need to be alphabetized, and all of the authors in each citation are also in alphabetical order. Okay, so this is what your final references page looks like. When you are citing in text, it's going to be a little bit different than the MLA citations that you are used to. So you'll be in the middle of your text writing, and then here you'll notice that I'm alluding to a writing study conducted by Fosgaren and McIntosh. That gives credit to the authors, and then I'm going to, in bracket, put the year that the study was conducted and what I'm actually taking from the authors. So in the writing study conducted, it outlined writer's block from students is often the result of a fear of the end product. And then because I've already cited the author and the year here, I only need to include the page number. Alternately, as I move down, because I'm still using the same source for this information, I can reference the page numbers that I'm taking the information from in the same paragraph. So if I'm using the Fosgaren-McIntosh study 2020, the first thing that I'm quoting from it is outlining the writer's block from students is often the fear of result from the end product. I am taking this from page 23, so that is where I am giving credit. As I continue with information that comes from the study, if I'm using something that is direct from it, I am going to once again reference the page number in which I got it. So I'm going to use source page 25. Alternately, if I don't want to reference the authors in my actual writing, I can do something like a writing study conducted on grade 12 English students and then bracket and include the authors who conducted the study, again in alphabetical order, the same format that you would have put it on your references page, and then put the year that was conducted. If I were using this at the end of a paragraph and I wanted to put the page number there, I would add the page number at the end of my citation. Because I haven't actually used the information yet, the page number goes at the end. Okay, you're going to follow these same steps throughout your paper. Anytime you are making reference to a new author, you are going to embed the quote and then the year of the study or the year of the publication in which you're using, and then the page number or pages in which you are using them. If you have any questions about adding in longer quotes or flipping back and forth between authors, please send me an email and I will get back to you ASAP, or you can refer to the Google slide that will be posted to Google Classroom as well. Okay? If at any time you're unsure whether or not you should cite something because you've kind of gotten the idea from the authors, but you think that you've done it on your own, the safety is always to use the citation. There is nothing wrong with using citations in APA papers. This is not a persuasive essay. You are not trying to convince somebody of your opinion. You are trying to prove a point, in which case facts and knowledge base are your friends. Just make sure you are giving credit to whoever's paper that was when you took the idea. Again, for any questions, please send me an email.